of Silverfang Vengeance, the sort of second chapter to the Silverfang Hunters. You all know how it ended, if you're watching this, hopefully. If you don't, you should go back and watch Silverfang Hunters. You can catch the first episode on YouTube. Some of the episodes are still on Twitch, but of course, Twitch does kick things off of their network after a certain amount of time. Quick recap of the rules here and goals. Only family members. Primary economy is slavery. No electricity research and no enemy looting, meaning, you know, their weapons, their drugs, etc. Scenario goals, a big impressive shrine to Grief. If you don't know who Grief is, he played a very short but very important role in episode 11 of Silverfang Hunters, and all pirate bases must go the way of destruction. So we have decided to have a really weird sort of floating island layout here, but I did want to make some fundamental changes. So the changes I wanted to make involved what rooms are going to be for what purpose. So first things first, I wanted to go over a little bit of tips here. Viper Bronco mentioned that in the future, when I have like lines of traps and all that, I should be very careful to add a trap at the end of the line to keep baited animals out. This is something I did last series very, very poorly, so that's a fair point. Alright, and then some more tips. I have added quest tab at the request of Rick Stevens here, so here is a list of my quests, but of course, they're empty. I haven't been offered one yet. We haven't even really gotten our first raider, for instance. We did get a few happy little huskies here who do not have names yet. I will get around to naming them, I promise, but I just haven't done it yet. They're not quite trained yet. I think once they're a little bit more trained, it might be worth doing. And my last tip is that these rooms here should not be kitchen and dining room and the like. Your kitchen should be a very low traffic room. And that's a very good point. So I'm going to make this the kitchen here. Meaning that this might become the dining room. But if this becomes the dining room, the only problem is, of course, marble would be the block of choice, not granite. So yes, I've made errors here. And I need to destroy a little bit of this building, only to marbleize it. That's my fault. I hadn't really thought ahead in that way. And what I'm going to try to do is plow through a lot of these little construction jobs so that I can get to the point where I have a relatively decent base all laid out. So I've never really built a city or whatever you want to call it like this. So this will be sort of a first for me. We also have Day here, who cannot do dumb labor, so we have to find tasks for him. So right now, he's sort of our resident miner, and he's sort of wandering around. I didn't choose him, but he is, what are they, married? Yes, they're married to, he is married to Zero, who has a male name, but is a female. Part of me wants to rename it, just so that it makes a little bit more sense, but I won't do that. So we are racking up a little bit of tattered apparel. Just a quick recap on what we have researched. We do have complex clothing researched and stone cutting. Stone cutting, obviously, because I have so much stone. What we don't have is a tailoring bench. So if I want a hand tailor bench, I need to add one in. I think I'm going to put it here. So the wood here at preferred, I'm going to also add raw resources of manufactured of textiles. And that way we can get some clothing replacements. Right now we have pretty crummy clothing. Now another suggestion that I remember that I hadn't addressed quite yet was that I should start to chop trees down that are far from the village, because during winter months you're not going to want to travel around a lot, so the closer they are the better. I think what I'm going to do is game the hunting here. I probably have more than enough meat at the moment. Probably Trek is going to go hunt. Has he killed another one? No. I don't want to hunt too much because you know, it's we're not going to really benefit from it. Alright, Mr. Chief. I'm going to have Chief prioritize a little bit of the hand tailor bench, and then we can start tailoring again. What I'm going to do here is destruction tasks are almost always sort of prioritized last of the construction work jobs, so I'm going to prioritize this one just so that this task gets done faster. The Gafe asked if Day divorces, will he get sold into slavery? I can leave that up to you, but I'm leaning towards yes. If you're an ex, you're no longer part of the family, technically, and therefore should not have all the rights that a family member would normally have. So, yeah, I hope that's pretty grim, right? But I think that's probably an accurate answer. The next thing I want to do is bills. So we have a need of shirts and pants. At the very least, shirts and pants. I'll take a look at what we have tattered. So we're going to do until we have... I'm going to put this probably to maybe 2. I don't want to make too many spares. And then as for ingredients, I'm just going to do leathers for now. That's probably pretty safe. I might want cloth for other purposes and wools and stuff like that. So we are going to make sure that these look everywhere, and they look for maybe 95% or above. Only allowed ingredients. Yep. And don't count tainted, don't count equipped. And probably Chief as the crafter. And then when we're done, we'll put them in here, this zone. Temp clothing storage. This is, of course, not our workshop. I don't have a workshop built yet. So I'm going to need to temporarily store everything here. We're going to say that this is important. For, oops, I screwed that up. For apparel, that is 94 and above and normal and above, which will only be the clothing. And then I have to fix the bills up. Oh no, they're working again. Good. This room is probably going to be temporary storage type stuff. I haven't really decided. Basically, the concept here is you want low traffic, or high traffic. This is high traffic. These are going to be lower traffic. So my kitchen here, which can be made in granite, is going to look something like this. Where, we'll put a wooden door there. I'm just sort of brainstorming. I think actually what I'll do is cut a little hole into my dining room just so that people can walk around it in case they don't want to walk through, and that will keep the dining room a little bit more clean. So a dining room will be more laid out like this. It's not perfect, but it's pretty functional. So let's expand into the area as best as we can with some tweaks here. There, very strange dining room size, but it will do. So people will be able to walk around it if they want, and they don't have to enter. Meaning these marble doors are going to stay open all the time. This wooden door is going to close. Klein asks, will there be a stream Thursday with the holiday being Independence Day, of course? Probably not. I'm going to assume that many of the American viewers are probably going to watch fireworks, even though fireworks every year looks to be just about the same. But if there's demand for it, I'm not against it. I have nothing better to do. Although you might hear some explosions in the background of my stream. So welcome to everyone that's coming a little bit late. No worries there. Alright, so this kitchen, and then on top of the kitchen here, we are also going to want a dedicated area for butchery, which means we're really not going to have a lot of room for, I might actually want to expand this, make it a little bit larger, just to make sure we accommodate everything we're going to want. Let's go with granite again. And this will be sort of a temporary little butchery. All the pups are asleep. All the pawns are asleep. Taking a look at the world. These tribes, neutral or so. I'm sort of curious what my quests will be. I'm sort of excited to see if I can't get any quest rewards that really further my technology. So I'm going to keep this Muffalo forbidden for another day or so, just to make sure that I have food that doesn't spoil. And right now I do run the risk of food poisoning because this is not a naturally clean tile. You all make a pretty good point. This barracks here is somewhat impressive because of this amazing legendary statue. Which means that I'll get around eventually to making bedrooms. Especially for Zero and Day, because ain't nobody got time to watch that. But for now, that barracks isn't that mood penalizing that it could be. So I'm not exactly sure if the footprint here is going to... I'll expand it if I need to. It might not allow for proper recreation. Of course, the billiards table takes up a lot of room. But for now, I just want to get some walls up, you know? Alright, so we do have first raid. It's pirates. They're preparing. Oh, maybe this isn't first raid. First raids are always one enemy. So that might just be because of the episode 1, the style, and the changes to it. First raid is a little bit wrong and different. Okay, so game of let's go ahead and... Where'd my big old table go? I'm not sure where that Knight of the Round Table went. Did I break it down? I don't think I broke it down. But yeah, let's start moving our dining room stuff. Yeah, I uninstalled it. I'm just not sure what stockpile I went to, because I don't physically see it. Oh, it's right there. Oh my god. Okay, it's right in front of me. Yikes. That was sad. Pretend you didn't see that. Alright, so Day here doesn't have tasks. I have been somewhat ignoring... Oh my god, it's another Tony. Tony the Surgeon? I know Tony. You all know... Well, some of you might not know Tony, but... Yeah, Tony plays a not insignificant role in a different series. So that is very funny to see her pop up here. So Day needs some tasks here. He did mine out when he needed to mine out. Yeah, there's a lot of mining to do. I'm not sure I want a giant influx of steel all of a sudden. That adds a lot to colony wealth. But I suppose for now it's fine. I don't also want Day to be that close to the raiders, so I'm going to tell him to mine up north. Zero is inspired with a Go Frenzy, if you were wondering. I hadn't highlighted that. So this butchery door is going to stay open. Oh, they're beginning their assault. So here is the power of this beautiful base. Let's go ahead and set up some temporary zones. So first one is safe room. The safe room is going to be... I'll just put them in the dining room for now. Alright. This should be always open. Okay. And... animals. Safe room. Everybody get to here. And I don't want to kill everyone, but I also don't want to get bashed. I do need a prison, as Klein just pointed out. I don't have a, as he said, rest spot for permanent, for my money. Well, thank you, Euphoria, for the host. Okay, so if we take a look here, I've got... they're taking their sweet time. Tony, do you have a bad back again? No, but you have leg stab and an eye stab. Man, you had a weird life. Where'd the other raider go? Oh. Wow, you are slow. Oh my goodness. Why am I afraid of you? You're not even going to make a good slave. No one's going to spend money on a deaf, demented, frail, doubly frail. Oh boy. That is a pawn right there. You know what? Okay, I'm no longer scared of this this raid. I'm not going to bother using my traps. I'm just going to go ahead and uninstall these because we're going to overkill, massively overkill this group. Yeah, Jace, I am too impressed that this person's still alive. Their consciousness is at, it's only at 85%. But their moving, of course, is at like 25%. They barely move at all. Oh, just shattered a nose. Just, oh, that stabbed scar eye is now gone. Leth likes to bash old ladies. You've heard it first from me. So while everyone else is constructing this base or whatever, Leth is going to bash an old lady, or at least try to. You know what? Maybe Day does. Day, you haven't, you don't really have any other tasks other than mining, so Day will do it. Now, this dumping stockpile is, really shouldn't be for human corpses. Yeah, we don't really want to dump human likes here. Now, again, I'm not really going to have the ability to make Molotovs. Which is going to be a little annoying to discard stuff I don't want. Animals, you can be unrestricted. Hess asks, why do I have a double bed? Everyone's related. Day is Zero's husband. Oh no! Yes! Oh wow, I've never seen closer. Yes! Well, I have seen closer, but yeah, there we go. So now we have the demented, whoever you are. I forget her name. Doesn't really matter. You're a slave. I'm really curious what kind of price I'll fetch for her. So I can't imagine it's going to be a particularly good one. But that was really easy to capture her. Clace, I guess. It's a good job. You captured an octogenarian very ably. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here is I've decided to actually, yeah, let's bridge up everything I can bridge up, and we'll think it will appear as if it's like a wharf or something. Not to be confused with the Star Trek wharf. So Clace is going to be interned in this prison. What I should do is get the prison doors closed. And it looks like we are running low on granite. Oh, granite's full time now. Yeah, I did, in fact, install traps for that guy. Jimmy, you're right. Little, overcautious, overprotective. Especially after what happened last time. I certainly don't need that level of traps. But, you know, you can never be too safe. Butcher table, fine meals. Yeah, we're looking good. We are running low on berries for the fine meals. Clace here getting patched up. She's going to get reduced resistance. Her food and needs being met. It's good to have a prisoner, especially one like her, because she's basically deaf, so it doesn't even matter if my warden curses at her or not. She's really not going to know the difference. And if she has a jailbreak, yeah, that's a big joke too, because, like, I could probably sneeze on her and she'd fall back over. So it's kind of a perfect prisoner to, like, train on, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I could have stockpiles on the ground for my uninstalled traps, absolutely. That's probably something I should get doing. So, let's see. Trap 1. I just don't like how it pauses me every time. But let's say it's critically important to have buildings of security spike trap type. Copy the settings. And I'm just going to hide it so I don't have to see it again. Trap 2. Paste the settings. And hide. Trap 3. Paste the settings and hide. Oh, not expand. Hide. And I think what I'm going to do is... These doors aren't quite right anymore, are they? Yeah, I'll have to fix those doors. Trap 4, paste settings, and I'm going to keep them visible for now and fix the door layouts that are all gotten wrong. So that was a pretty good little tip there. They don't decay. Most minified, that's what it's called when you like uninstall something. Minified buildings don't decay, like ever. They just don't. They're not designed to. So it's not like these traps are going to... I suppose they could be set on fire or something, but they're not going to decay normally. Alright, nice. We got Superflu. Alright, so if I check my doctor, who got the flu? Alright, one of my doctors got the flu. Yanshui does not have the flu. I'm making sure that they're all set to bed rest. And they were. Do I also have some night owls? I don't think I do, right? No, I don't. Alright, let's get them all some rest. I do need to close off this path here so that they take the correct path. You're absolutely right. What I need to do is add another path of bridges here and then wall it off something like this. A steel door there and a steel door somewhere up here once I have all the traps sorted. And that way they're lured to the proper one. So what I'm going to do is have some people pick natural heal root. Although my herbalist just befell the flu. So my next best herbalist would be Leth. Leth, are you sick? Who's sick? Yeah, you're sick too. Alright, Yanshui, you're going to wake up. Yanshui can plant cut as well. So we're going to get some heal root. This should work to accelerate the heal time, if I can actually get some heal root. So far, I'm... Okay, 1 for 3. I'm going to tend to 0 first. Oh, we actually do have a heal root. I'm tending to 0 because he is also a doc. I don't like being down to an inferior doctor. That's just not a comfortable feeling. We do have a little bit more wild heal root here. If I zoom all the way out, I can spot them. And I'll just queue them all to harvest. Some of them aren't fully matured and therefore have less of a chance to yield. But what am I to do, you know? Good, good, good. Alright, let's tend. And what I'm going to do is kick Yangshui. We're not going to be doing any more research for a bit. She's going to be our heal root harvester, basically. Man, it is hot in there. Even though there's no heater. And I think, Leth, you were also sick. Oh boy, everyone that can take care of anyone is sick. So I'm going to set everyone to be a little bit of a doctor. Just so that they're fed and taken care of. Spread the sort of burden around. And then, of course, there's Clace, which is... she's unconscious, too. Another thing I should probably eventually do is to set the dogs to not go into the prison at all. But I'm not going to start painting that right now. I have bigger things to attend to. So we're starting to get them trained on rescue, which is pretty good. But a lot of the progress we were going to make is going to be stagnated. Trek can construct, though. But right now he's busy training. That's probably not a bad call, given the amount of hauling that all of those dogs will be able to do once fully trained. Oh, and Randy, the god of forgiveness, decided that I am due for some kibble. What I'm going to do is... I'm going to have to remember that this is temporary. I'm going to say that this is temp pets, and temp pets is just going to stand in there. Real sad. Not a very good fun amount of living. And this general stockpile will have the kibble, and then they'll be able to feed themselves. Alright, so we're harvesting wild hill root. Instead of that, let's haul some kibble. Randy, yeah, you're right. Randy giveth and Randy taketh. I am very ready for him to taketh. I don't want to store kibble there. No. No, sir. I hate when they do that. But no, that was my fault that time. Alright, so I'm starting to get muffalo meat to disappear. Let's make sure I've painted the temp properly. And they will have access to that kibble. Tending to Leth. Okay, Yan Shui was tending to Leth, so let's allow that to happen. We have a lot of our meat. Oop, there the last of it goes. After we tend him, definitely going to be... Oh, nope, Zero Day, you should... Zero Day should not be a doctor right now. Cool. A mad elk. Well, the thing about this mad elk... Where is it? Here it is. Trek has a really nice pistol. Gift from Grief. I'm not all that worried about that elk. If I'm just being blunt here. Alright, so getting some meals up. Mr. Trekintosh. Gonna get ready with his gun. I don't even know where this elk is going. Who are you chasing, Mr. Elk? Doing a little bit of bashing. But Day is there to intercept. I just have a little bruise. And that fight's over. That's right. You fight me, you die. Not always. Ideally. Okay, so we're out of the berries, which means we're down to essentially making food out of the rice that hasn't matured yet. So we can still make simple food out of the meat, but we're not going to be able to do anything more than that. Clace is up and walking around. Annoying voice, careful shooter, and great memory. Great memory to memorize all these very no skills. Male drifter of the Vanquishers. 87 years old. I'm actually just impressed how old that pawn is. That's pretty old. Just period. For being alive or whatever. Day, would you be able to plant... You know what? I'm going to have Day be my plant cutter right now. He might suck at it, but that's probably the task I need most. Yeah, Jimmy makes a good point here. Great memory with dementia. You know, to be fair, I suppose you could have both. You could have had an entire life of having a really fantastic memory, and then just, like, to be demented, too. Sad when both happen, but, you know, I can't say it's impossible necessarily. So I think this footprint allows for a lot more meat storage and food storage than I had before. I'm not going to have a ton, and I'll probably have a lot of spillover for vegetables. But it's not like I'm ever going to have a huge stockpile of meat because everything will spoil. Nope, she's confused because of dementia. I wonder if it's going to allow her to break out of prison. That would be really funny. She's just like, oh, I was a prisoner? I didn't realize. Sorry for, like, escaping or whatever. Maybe that happens. I don't know. I know that happens in, like, old people homes where they don't realize what's going on around them, and they end up, like, you know, leaving and it's a problem because then they don't know where they are or where they live or whatever. I wonder if that could be a problem with her. Or him or whatever. I don't... What gender are you? Male. Him. Alright, so we're getting a bit of herbal medicine now. A little stockpile. Checking in on their health conditions. Let's see. 30 to 39. That's good. 31 to 41. That's good. And 32 to 43. They're all outpacing it quite nicely. Oh, but Zero's eating kibble. Kibble. Gross. What I'm going to do now, because that's gross. Food restrictions. This is called lavish. We're going to name this simple meals only. And they are going to be simple meals. I'm going to delete the other stuff. A new food restriction. Nice or all meals. And this will be fine, lavish, and simple. Or fine and lavish. No, fine, lavish, and simple's fine. So they're still on simple meals. Trek had one in his inventory, so I'm going to have Trek just... Or, Zero, rather, eat that one. But, I don't want them... The unhealthy people here to wander too much. Zero... No more recreation for you, sorry to say. Yeah, I can't imagine being fed dog food while in a hospital. At least in America, that would be one hell of a class action lawsuit. But, you know, I suppose accidents can happen. So now, at this point, Day needs more harvesting tasks, so I'm going to give it to him. Pretty soon, this rice will be ready to go as well. I'm excited about that, because then we'll actually have some proper meals. I'm keeping an eye on this elk to make sure to process the meat when the meat should be processed. Hess asks, why do I have sandbags facing the interior of the base? Well, the idea here is that something like this. I'm going to lay it out something like this eventually. Where I will have... None of this I'm putting down into stone right now. I'll probably even have it up to 3. So what I'm going to have is a way for raiders to walk here and go fight meleeers while the ranged people shoot them as they're reaching the meleeers. So the meleeers can melee and the shooters can shoot without being at risk of getting hit by other meleeers. Sort of drawing everyone into the center. And the idea here, I probably would put it facing north, maybe. This door facing north, so that a would-be raider, and you know, put a wall like this or whatever. I'll have to really think it over more clearly. Put it something like that, so that they have to run all the way around, and then all 3 meleeers can face one enemy all at the same time. And of course, no one can shoot in from... I mean, I suppose someone could shoot in this way. But I could also bump this over 1. I guess now that I've thought about it more, I sort of worked out how it's going to be laid out. It's going to be like this, and... I want a granite door. Do I have a granite door built? Yeah, here we go. Build copy. Like that. And that way they have to run this gauntlet while getting shot from everyone that has bows on the coast. Is green water walkable? Yes. The marsh is walkable. The light blue water is walkable. The dark blue water is not walkable. It's too deep to walk for everyone. So theoretically, raiders could bash my walls here. But this is just sort of for design. That I have a quote-unquote floating island. Because once it's done, the only point of entry will be here unless they want to go through walls. So this doesn't work against sappers or drop pods all that well. But against traditional raiders, it will work quite well. Where they will come in through a wall of traps. Unless I want them not to take the wall of traps. Another alternative I could do is have a granite door here. Which I can flip closed. So if it's a raid that I don't think will pose me a lot of trouble, I can keep this door open and this door closed so they walk in without the traps. And then face the meleeers that are sitting in the center here. Will it work? I hope so. We'll have to see. Either way, I think it will be pretty cool. Yeah, as you just mentioned in comment, I will have a trap hallway and a not deadly trap hallway. Because sometimes I'm not going to want to just hit them all with traps. Not all raiders are going to require it. Like the last raid obviously did not, and I wouldn't want to waste my steel or wood or whatever types of traps I have on such simple enemies. Looks like I'm starting to do the rice harvest. I don't know if that one piece of rice just... No, it's all matured. Here we go. Yan Shui's now getting going on that. Checking all their health. They all can be tended to... Okay, they all can be tended to basically now. As Aggro puts it, it is the Gauntlet of Death and the Maze of Maiming when executed correctly. So when we're not doctoring, we're just cutting down a whole lot of trees. Because this base requires a ridiculous amount of wood. Oh, silver ore. Fancy that. I'm definitely not going to turn that down. I think what I'm going to do is not mine that until Day's mining skill is a little bit higher. You get full return on investment, or you can fully mine when you're at level 9. And before level 9, it's not going to be worth it. So I have not, because of the flu, done as much as I wanted to. And Yan Shui is starving. Oof. So it was asked, why did I decide not to go over the 50k silver? The reason I decided, and it wasn't a vote or anything, the reason I decided to go for the shrine is to sort of appreciate how much that one pawn, Grief, did for me. He definitely held his own and brought everyone back from the brink, and as a result, I'm going to build a shrine to him. It doesn't make that any easier, honestly. In my opinion, it's just as hard. A wondrously impressive shrine is actually pretty ridiculous to make. Oh, here we go. Another slave. Mazy Muggers. Okay. And, well, we're not going to recruit them because we are slavers. And we always will be. But, Yan Shui, did you eat? Yeah, you ate. Day, how about you go? No, actually, I think what's... Ooh, so this is sort of annoying. They're bleeding out really, really, really quickly. And, the worry is, will I get them back in time and patch them up? I don't know. But I will try. Oh, Zero's like, forget waiting for you guys to feed me. I'm feeding myself. Checking to make sure that this isn't penalizing me in any way. And yeah, his recovery is... His immunity is not quite ahead as everyone else's because he keeps getting up. So I'm going to send him back to bed. But it's not like he's running any risk of getting himself killed. How large is the shrine going to be? Was just asked. I'm not sure. I probably will make it about as spacious as I can because size matters when calculating room quality. But I don't have hard numbers as to how big I plan for it to be. To put it simply. Wait. What? What? Randy, why? Holy hell, Randy, why? Okay, cool. Flu and plague stacked up on top of one another. Thanks, Mr. Randy. Luckily, it was all doubled over, so everybody but Day has 2 copies. I didn't know that this was possible. I'm definitely not going to have enough medicine. So I'm going to start tending without, medicine. And yeah, this is ridiculous. Absolutely, positively ridiculous. I've never ever had a situation where I've had doubled up like that. Now, my real worry here is consciousness loss. Because, of course, when you lose enough consciousness, you just die. There's no, like... Yeah, I think I'll be okay. So one thing that will aid me is if I raise the light level in this building here. So that I can affect better medicine quality. It's something I hadn't done yet. But, yeah, I'm with you there. Accidental aggro. I need a Randy emote for when he does this to me. Because I've never seen this. And I don't think it's from any of the mods I'm currently running, because none of the mods do this. And even mess with sickness rates or anything like that. So, yeah, I would say that you're right. Randy does not approve of the redemption arc. And is definitely penalizing me. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is change the assignments to all meals. Because I have a bunch of fine meals that I'm just not able to feed anyone. And I'm going to sending people back to bed rest. Leth is like, no, I'm not going to go bed rest. So Zero and Day are both sick, so I can turn that into a hospital. Leth is sick, and Chief... No, Chief wasn't sick. No, Chief was sick. Okay. Leth and... I'm turning them into hospitals just for now. You know what I think I'm going to do? Is Yan Shui, you're going to lose your high-quality bed. Let's get Chief resting in the masterwork. Just because I have a lot of work for Chief to do. And... I need to have him recover. So the reason Masterwork is there is a immunity gain factor 107 versus the immunity... Oh, I guess it's the same factor. I guess in that case I'm going to switch him back. Because then I would want Yan Shui, who's doing a lot of this doctoring, to be able to do doctoring not penalized. Oh my goodness. This is so stupid. Did one of you guys, like, hack my game and change Randy to be, like, evil? Yeah, she really is the Plague Doctor. That's a very good nickname for her now. And then, Trek the germ-free. Jamie, I'm not gonna switch it over to Phoebe. She might be easy, but I can handle this, I think. So taking a look, I now have to check 2 diseases at once. Additionally, there's probably honestly not enough wild heal root on this map to really sufficiently keep everyone safe and sound. But there's a nice cluster up there that I might have time to run to briefly. Albeit with deep insomnia. Alright, I'm going to manually do some of these tasks. So, people are asking, well, people are just arriving at the stream. If you're not familiar, maybe someone that has been watching from the start can fill you in on the catastrophe that is this series already. I have no idea what I did to deserve this sort of punishment, but I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty funny. I have a bunch of people that have doubled up sicknesses here. So a lot of them are almost over their flu. 95%, 87%, 85%. But there is, of course, the issue that not only do I have the flu to deal with, now I have the plague. So they are I mean, at this point, I might as well just call it herpagonorrhea syphilades, because that's basically what I've contracted here. What's really weird is I'm in a boreal forest. I'm not even, like, in a swamp or in a tropical forest or something like that. I shouldn't be getting this sort of sick punishment. And I don't really even have anyone that's sickly. So I'm just, I don't know. Just Randy's being Randy here is really all I can imagine. Well, our plague doc leveled up in medical. No surprise there. She's having to do a lot of carrying here with this sick group. But hey, I mean, they're well taken care of, I suppose. Taking a look at, well, Leth needs food. Alright, Yanshui needs to cook. How about you haul the rice once? I have a bunch of rice that's just sort of like spoiling here. Thank you, Veggie Lover, for the sub. Well, I should just call you Plan, because that's how I know you. But, and thanks for the bits. So, Jimmy did the too long didn't read, or in this case, too long didn't watch, of Randy is being a jerk, and I'm getting super diseased. I didn't realize that I had a compromised immune system for my group, but that's exactly what I have, and it's being really penalizing. Trek is working on that beautiful trap hallway. Yanshui is trying to sneak in a little cooking and a little food between all the healthcare. He is deconstructing a granite wall. Okay, cool. There's a lot of granite in there that I can deconstruct and not have to process the blocks. But I think what I'm going to do is, from a bird's eye view, forbid everything here so that he actually gets more granite than just like 5 blocks. Alright, developed immunity, and immunity. Plague. So the plague here, 60-84, we're okay. 60-75, we're okay. 62-63, that's not good. And 63-77. So Day here needs to definitely stay in bed. I'm not so sure how his level of plague differs that heavily from everyone else's, but it has. Alright, Trek. Trek here. I want you to just do a little construction for a moment. Okay. I don't want so much back and forth where he's constantly running to do like attending a patient and then coming back. Soon I'll reprioritize all that now that I have my beautiful, beautiful granite. So I don't really know what tending to a patient looks like when you don't have medicine. Just like a pat on the back. Like, there, you're okay. It's not like you have plague and flu, right? What I really need to do, and it's a good thing that Trek is still on 2 feet, is hunt some more meat. Fine meals are nice. I'm actually really surprised the happiness level of everyone, because I would not be happy in this case. Chief, fully immune. Yes. And then I have a Muffalo Revenge. Is it all of them? Yes, it is all of them. Alright, Trek, time to run. Run. Chief, we are going to... Well, we're about to get a lot more meat than we wanted. Alright, so let's see. Trek was not one of the ones that had peg legs, so that bit is good. A Muffalo runs it just... Trek, just start running. Muffalo will be able to run Trek down. Trek, you're not slowpoke or anything. You're just slow. It's too bad I don't have that shock. Let me get that awful pistol here. It's too bad I don't have a shock lance to just shock Trek to the ground so that he doesn't act as a target. Because that honestly would be pretty helpful at this moment. Oh god, Daze immunity is like neck and neck. I think what I'm going to do here is... I need to probably help Trek out by slowing down these Muffalo a little bit. So I'm going to leave this door open. Please don't hit Trek. Trek is always the one that dies. He's like a red shirt in Star Trek. So, okay, ideally, yes, the ideal situation happened. It's not ideal that I got knocked out, but it's ideal that I'm unconscious and not dead. And also not really bleeding all that much. So let's force these Muffalo to take the long path. There's one trap set up. Now that Yan Shui has traveled through that... Oh boy. The issue is Chief here is really slow due to all of his sicknesses. So... Oh, I don't know why this just worked. What are you down for? What is your issue? Oh, you're so malnourished you're like fainting. Yeah, that would be my fault. I haven't really been a good warden. Run, Chief. Okay, maybe just one of them. Two of them got through. No, pretty much all of them are through. Fortunately, he's going to go down real fast because he was not all that conscious to begin with. And Yan Shui is now the last woman standing. Look at that. What I think I'm going to try to do is to... How conscious are you? And how... Alright, you're fairly malnourished. This is sort of the Kobayashi here. To continue the reference. Yo, piss off my door, man. Alright, so what kind of time do I got? I got plenty of time. He's not even bleeding. Alright, so this door here, we are going to just grab Chief and throw him into this bed. Oh, but that stupid pistol's in the way. Oh, this isn't good. I might need to use the sick people. The trouble is, I can't field Day. He's too sick. Zero's about to... Oh, Leth is up. Leth, can you help us out here? I had like a pistol prop a door open, and that's what's going to get me knocked unconscious? That's ridiculous. Randy hates me, is all I can say. Oh, but there's another Muffalo down here. It's death in 5 hours, though. Alright, let's analyze all the Muffalo. I want to know where they all are. So, I've got one up there. I got two here, and one that Leth is attempting to bash. Zero, I think you need to start shooting. Yan Shui's dead. Alright. Thanks, game. I'm not sure if I could have played that any different. It's just too much plague, too much sickness, all at once. And she died of, like, a little torso bruise. It wasn't even organ damage. Alright, Zero is trying to shoot, but that's not going to work out that well. So I think Zero being now the only conscious person, he just really has to go and wait them out. Checking at everyone's health levels. No one's really bleeding to death. No one is really critical, but it's going to get infected, for sure. So he's going to hit immune in, like, a second here. I'm just going to forbid the door. Really? Bashing my door down? They'll go away. Yan Shui was not the best doctor. She was the cook. The best doctor is Zero here, but Zero was sick all this time. So Zero's actually fully immune now to everything, but just has terrible penalizing manipulation and consciousness penalties due to still having illness in them. Is Day gonna die? That's a very good question. 88, 86, not likely, but it's close. It's a whole lot of close. Clace here might die if this malnourishment continues, but I'm really not in any condition to feed him. Trek just got back up. That's probably not a good thing. I'm going to have Trek... This one is bleeding to death, isn't it? 11 hours. Trek's last stand here. And this one is not bleeding all that much. Okay, Trek's back down. Please stay down. Fortunately, this Muffalo is going to bleed a lot faster. Chief's back up. So, the DPS of this auto pistol... 9-1 versus the bow. I think the bow is still going to be better. But let's get to a vantage point we can use. So what I need to do is I need to haul this auto pistol to close that stupid door. That shouldn't be propped open anyway. Allow self-tend. Chief, you are going to be the worst self-doctor ever. So he's going to patch himself up. Leth and Trek are still okay. This Muffalo lost consciousness, bleeding out pretty quick. Yes, Trek was indeed not the first death. So that part's good. Chief, you don't have any food on you. I'm just gonna have 0 sleep. There's really nothing else to do. Chief's into daze. Well, that's not gonna be good, because I have no way to stop him from dazing. Checking your health. 94. Wow, this is about as neck and neck as it gets. Go to sleep, Muffalo. Alright, so that Muffalo got pissed off by Trek, or by Chief, rather. Trek's now starving. Chief is now attackable, and down he goes, and he lost a ring finger. My crafter now has lower manipulation. But he's no longer in a, you know, psychotic state, so that's good. Alright, that one's unconscious. Now the other problem here is I'm not really feeding or tending to anyone, and we do have an unburied family member. But the good news is Day did hit immunity. So silver linings and all, right? 0, you are allowed to construct. So let's go ahead and repair this door. These are still manhunted. So this Muffalo has never been touched. This Muffalo is only slightly bruised. All the other Muffalo seem to be down. Now, Day is probably in no condition to go brawling. It's way too soon for Grief's return. I just was not expecting for a plague-ridden community to have this sort of event happen to them. Alright, so here's what I'm going to try to do. I am going to attempt to crank these spike traps down behind me. Like, there we go. And now, Leth, I'm going to come, actually, I'm going to go feed Clace, rescue Chief. I have no idea why that guy is running like that. If I forbid these doors, rescue Chief. Another one of the Muffalo just died. Let's just say that was calculated. Okay. Next up, let's do build copies here. I'm going to need a triage room here. Let's rescue Leth. We can take him to the granite building, that's fine. We have someone hot on our butt. Day is going to start treating Leth. Zero here is going to get bashed up a bit. I was hoping to juke this thing. What I'm going to try to do is to lure it to the trap with whatever health I have. Knowing that I can probably... Oh, come on. I can probably nimbly step over the trap, and the Muffalo probably can't. That's what I'm hoping. Come on. But the pathing here is all dumb. Just go. Nope. Okay. Well, got knocked unconscious. Maybe the Muffalo will wander into the trap. I am not sure. Man, Randy sucks. Randy's been real brutal. What I could do is animals. I don't know if you're really going to want to fight for me. Oh, nope. He's dead. Okay, we're good. Alright, Day here. We now... Oh, we have rescue on. Yeah, I guess the Huskies could have been a little bit more useful earlier had I thought to field them. I didn't know what kind of use they would actually have. So Leth is up and Day is up. Now let's do triage where we prioritize patients. So probably Zero is the most urgent here. God, what an obnoxious set of events. Way to kick me while I'm down. Well, the thing is, guys, I'm actually out of time. So what I'm going to do is stick around a bit to answer questions and to be consoled about how ridiculous this episode was. If you have any tips for me, drop me a line. If you have feedback about whether you would want to watch this on the 5th or not, that being a... Or actually, the 4th, rather, not the 5th. Which is a Independence Day in America. Let me know. I'm still up to stream if that interests all of you. And I'll have to catch you all later. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you have appreciated the absolute pummeling that I took this episode. And if you have any suggestions for me, I'm all ears. Adios.